Folks, we're getting closer and closer to 100,000 subscribers, but I need more of them. We're still a little over 5,000 away. So help me out by reaching a different audience on Twitter. Head over to my Twitter account at WhatGoingDowney. Go to my pinned tweet and retweet it as well. We'll put the link for you guys in the comment section as well. So all you got to do is click it and retweet it. And if you're watching live, stick around for some shout-outs coming up later on in today's video if you go retweet it. A super chat here, as promised, from Thomas Leach, or Leak, however you pronounce it. I assume it's Leach. With all the praise about Nahshon Wright as a surprising rookie, why not use that speed to bolster special teams and fill in the return game? So here's the thing about Nahshon Wright, is that if you want to put him on like special teams to be a gunner, awesome. I think you need that. But one of the biggest reasons why I was upset about Nahshon Wright's selection is that he does not have speed. At his pro day, mind you, he ran a 4.49, which seems okay, except for the fact that he weighed 183 pounds. So adjusting his athletic profile for the size that he is, he did not test very well. I don't think he's a return man at all at 6'4", 183. I think you've got better options out there. But if you can get on the field on defense, awesome. I like that. From DeLunatic, if Tank gets 9 sacks in 2021, what do we do with him in 2022? The Cowboys have the door open, if they so choose, to move on from Tank Lawrence. Now, I guess it depends on how those 9 sacks get there. If it's like one game with 3 and he's just a non-factor for 5 games in a row, well, especially down the stretch, well then, all right, maybe you make a decision there. If he's still being super impactful and, a couple of his sacks end up getting credited to like Randy Gregory because Lawrence gets there and the quarterback steps up into Gregory or whatever, okay, I think it's not a great idea to only judge based on one stat, even if it is the most important one for a pass rusher. If he's causing havoc, I lean towards keeping him. Luke D, proving once again producer Brett is not above bribes, says you're looking fire there. How many turnovers will the Cowboys get? Lord if I know. They were great the last 4 games last year against trash offenses in the Bengals and 49ers, and then a non-factor in the rest of the way. So I hope you can get 20-ish. That'd be a pretty big growth as far as I'm concerned, maybe 25, but I don't trust this Cowboys team to make turnovers until they make turnovers. They have not done that consistently for a very long time now. From Leroy Morton, if you could only keep one, would it be Michael Gallup, Connor Williams, or Randy Gregory? Good question here, Leroy. All of these players are in the last year of their contract. I am going to cross off Sewell immediately because unless he takes just a massive, crazy step forward, I think he's going to be an above-average starter. I don't want to pay that type of money for my number 2 guard. I'll try and go cheaper there as the Cowboys did with Williams himself there. So it narrows it down to me for Gallup or for Gregory. If Randy Gregory absolutely balls out, that might be the route I would rather go because I can more easily replace a receiver than to get another competent second edge rusher. But if you want to keep Gallup, I get it. He's the better player and the more consistent one as we sit right now. So pick one to keep. Great job, producer Brett, making that graphic on the fly. Get your votes in. MG for Michael Gallup, CW for Connor Williams, or RG for Randy Gregory. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get the ad break here, scroll on down and get your votes in. Super chat now from Eddie Joe. Are there any particular players you hope the boys pick up from other teams when they do the mandatory roster cuts? I don't know who ends up getting cut. There will be players that I'm going to have interest in. This is a super chat, so I'm allowed to say it here. I would keep an eye out on the safeties. The safety depth is bad for the Cowboys. Producer Brett's mad at me, but I'm right. Don't boo me. Do we want Darian Thompson on this team? No. There's nobody behind him. So I would keep an eye out for safeties who get cut, and I think back end of the roster potential special teamers. Malik Turner was the guy the Cowboys added last year. None of us had heard of him, but he's a special teams guy. That's the area I think the Cowboys will be focused on. From Mike Evans, what are the odds, in your opinion, that LVE makes it past week 6 before he's injured? Never wishing injury on anyone. I am concerned about LVE. Seems like he's healthy right now. We kind of heard that last year too, though. So I honestly, I'll put it like 70% he gets through week 6, because in theory, his snap counts will be down because the Cowboys have such great linebacker depth this year. From Zane Hubbard, how do you feel about Kellen Moore's play calling? I think we haven't really seen the best of it for a couple different reasons. First year under Garrett, let's be honest, it was very much limited. It was not the full power of the offense I think you'd want to give the OC under Jason Garrett, because Garrett got very conservative, and that was a philosophy from the entire organization. We saw creativity last year, especially inside the red zone. There were a lot of great play calls, by the way, that got lost in the shuffle because the quarterback play wasn't good enough. The deep passing game had to be dialed back because the offensive line was not good enough. I thought Kellen Moore overall last year called a pretty good season. I think having a healthy Dak Prescott will help that be fully unleashed, especially if the O-line is also healthy. Now, earlier, folks, I asked you guys to retweet my pinned tweet because I'm trying to get us to 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I want that plaque here. So as promised, I'm going to give you guys some shout-outs. Those of you who already went through and retweeted that for me, got a handful of them. Let's go rapid fire. Shout out Card of the Power. Thank you very much. James, Super, my burner account did it, and Shane did it as well. So if you haven't already, go do it. Let's help grow this Cowboys channel. From Alfonso Walton, what do you think the Jags' asking price is for Gardner Minshew? A fourth seems both fair and realistic, and something I would give up if I were the Cowboys. Minshew's very cheap, and we know he's a good backup, so the Jags don't have to give him away yet. Now, if he starts to raise a bit of a stink, maybe he could kind of help force his way out, but I haven't heard much credible stuff on Minshew, but logically, I think he'd be a good trade target. From Young Gunna, what do you think the Cowboys will do with Zeke if he doesn't improve in the next 2 years? So with the way his contract is set up, unless you can find a trade partner, unlikely if he's bad, you're stuck with him next year. Now, the year after that, the contract becomes much more movable. So if Zeke does not get better over the next 2 years, I think he's gone. Now, I hope, of course, that is not the case. We're not that far removed away from this being the answer to Zeke. Like, favorite Cowboys player? There were a lot of Zekes. Not the case anymore. That one, it's very much a what have you done for me now league. So let me know in the comments section, folks, who your favorite Cowboys player is. The Rainbow Cow, Giants defense or Cowboys defense better? Again, you come to the Cowboys Report, I like to think for my mediocre jokes, but really for honest answers. And the honest answer is the Giants defense. The New York Giants defense, last year specifically, way better than the Cowboys want. Now, can the Cowboys catch up? Sure, but New York's got the better defense right now, guys. From Elmatic7, why do crazies want to get rid of Cooper and Gallup? So I haven't seen very many of dump both Cooper and Gallup, but I have seen the trade Cooper to pay Gallup one. In general, again, you can make it work if you want. Cowboys might not want to, but you could. It's a good problem to have. You've got a great receiver one when healthy in Amari Cooper and a fun dynamic playmaker in Michael Gallup. It's not a problem right now. From Alan Williams II, over, under, how many games Tyron Smith will play this year? Don't wish injury upon anyone, but he hasn't played a full season in a long time. It's very true. Here's my mindset that for this. The Cowboys, the over-under should be about 12.5 because that's what it's what's been for Tyron for a long time. 13 games, like 4 years in a row, and then 2 games last year. So I'll set it at 12.5. Hopefully it's the over, and if it's the under, hopefully not by that much.